Hey, Hickok 45 here. You don't see me with this kind of outfit very often, do you? Yeah, it is a scope-sighted, bolt-action, modern rifle. I have had so many requests to get a hold of a Remington 700 or a Ruger American, or this type of rifle, and just shoot it and see what I think about it. And you know, I'm not really a hunter. And so I don't have a lot of this kind of stuff, or hardly any of it really. Got a lot of nice rifles that would be great hunting rifles, but I guess that's an area where I've just neglected in terms of bringing things to you. So I've had so many requests. I did request a Ruger American in 308 from Ruger. So this is a T&E gun that they sent me, and I thought, well, it's a very, very common and apparently becoming very popular hunting rifle, because it's very reasonably priced. I think it's around 450 bucks, something like that, and just a handy little rifle. So okay, why not? Let's get one in here. And at the same time, I thought, well, you know, it didn't even dawn on me. You know, you can tell I'm a scope guy, right? I get the rifle and I thought, you know what? I bet it won't even have metal sights on it, will it? And so where I picked it up there at ASP in Jolton, I said, you guys got a scope? I just guess I need to buy a scope if I'm going to get rifles like this in occasionally, and maybe one just to play with on other rifles I have, who knows, like the Ruger gun sight or something, stick one on occasionally. So I bought a Leupold 3x9, pretty nice little scope. It was a couple $100. It's kind of a low-end Leupold. They have a great reputation for what I know. You all know more about scopes than I do, though, and hunting rifles, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. But I'm going to take a couple shots up here, because from up here we can get 250 yards. You've seen us up here before with the M1A, I think, shooting the wall over there and some of those sorts of things. So we're just getting back as far as we possibly can on my property. I'm going to take a few shots. It's kind of a lightweight gun. It weighs just barely over 6 pounds, 22-inch barrel, kind of a light barrel. It is free-floated, you know, which is unusual in an inexpensive rifle like this. Doesn't feel like a old, what would you say, an '03 Springfield or a Remington 700. It doesn't feel like a big, nice, heavy bolt gun. It feels light, and very light for a bolt gun. So, but that's part of the attraction. Be good in the mountains, I guess. So we're going to take a couple shots with it, see if I can hit anything. You know, this is not my game, but I found a little twig on the side of this tree, so I'm going to rest it a little bit here. And I guess I should open up the scope. There we go. And even put a round in the chamber. Now I've just got some basic 308 hardball, some American Eagle. You know, again, I'm not a hunter, so I don't have a lot of that kind of stuff. I did try some of that in one. We're gonna see if I can hit anything over there. Tell you the truth, I'd probably do better with iron sights standing, but if I can get my feet right to where the thing about a scope I've never gotten used to is, yes, you can see the targets easier and more clearly, but it doesn't make you any more steady. Let's just try the plate. I think I probably went under it. All right, that's the sound I wanted to hear. Okay. Yeah, I can see the hit through the scope. I guess I'll go ahead and try. We're not going to shoot everything over there, but I just wanted to take a few shots. We actually had it set up for a Chapter 2 on another rifle. Let's try that tall guy, see if I can get close to him. They're mighty narrow. Oh, man. All right. Took him down. I'll tell you what, there was a little bit of luck involved in that, though, because it just doesn't feel that steady to me. I'll try that horizontal one. See if I've got the elevation on this thing close. Yeah, must have. I didn't hear it hit it, but it knocked it over. Okay. And I actually have another magazine. This is a magazine fed bolt action gun, which is not maybe all that common. It holds 4 rounds. That's all it holds. We'll try a couple more. I'll tell you what, let's try. Those at 100 yards, because we can't see them from down on the shooting table. We are going to go down there and play a little bit too with it. We've got a couple of 2-liters there at the top of that hill, which is about 100 from here. I don't know what it is, 110. I don't know what it is exactly. We don't normally shoot right there because it's not as safe, but with a 2-liter it'd be okay. See if I can pop that orange one. He's really shining in the sunlight. All right. Maybe I'll become a sniper in my old age here. I'll try that red one. Catching myself trying to flinch. Let's try another one at him. Alright, well, thought I got him. I guess I didn't. I'll try one more on him. Oh, there we go. We got him. We might come up here and take a couple more shots, but let's go down to the shooting table where you're accustomed to seeing me gab and show and tell, and then we might come back up here and take a couple of shots. I don't know. So come on down with me. We'll go down and see what's going on down there. Oh, I knew y'all would follow me down here. Glad you did. Like I said. Oh, and somehow those mags got reloaded, didn't they? It's amazing the magic you see at the compound. Interesting that I have 2 of these, right? Because you do just get one with your rifle. What happened was I requested one of these. I've had one of these for, wow, it's been, I think, a couple of months. I remember having an exchange with someone on YouTube. Someone was asking me about the Ruger American. I said, well, I actually have one, but I'm having a little difficulty with it. And so we had an exchange. You know who you are. I can't remember your username. But the first one we got, it had a sticky bolt issue. As I understand, the chambers and everything are really tight on this gun. It has a new design on the bolt. It's a 3-lug bolt. And it doesn't look like your daddy's Mauser. You know, it's a little bit different. If you can take a look at that, lay it out there. And but as I understand, there are tight tolerances in this firearm. And after we fired it about 4 or 5 times, I brought it out just to shoot it. I always shoot firearms before we were going to do video, kind of get familiar with them. And I noticed after 4 or 5 rounds, it started really getting tight. It was tight to begin with, and to the point where after 6 or 8 rounds, I could not get the bolt out. I was out here with a block of wood, you know, really literally getting the bolt out. And that's not going to make good video, is it? Not impressive. And Ruger makes good guns. I have owned a lot of Rugers in my day, and so we contacted them and said, I need to get this one back to you, and I hope they're not all like this. So no, we don't get many of these back at all. I said, well, send me one that works, and they did. So I got to send that one back, but I've got the extra magazine. So they do have tight tolerances. You know, if you have that sticky bolt issue, you know what I'm talking about. But by and large, in searching around the internet, I don't see that as a common problem. I saw a couple of people mention that they had something like that. But you know, this one works fine, and generally they seem to work okay. So, but you know, as with anything, you can. I figured it was an aberration, you know, and based on my minimal research, it seems to have been. So, anyway, we got one that works fine, and so we're going to play with it. Shoot it some more. A couple things about it that I didn't point out. Maybe you got your tank safety there. It's really handy, whether you're a righty or a lefty, of course. And the bolt is, as I understand, I think it's a 70-degree throw there. Helps with the scope. 70, feels a little warmer than that, but it's supposed to be a 70-degree bolt. And, you know, that is an issue, and it's not something that I encounter very much because I don't really have telescopic sights on guns very often. And so it's, but you all that do this regularly can appreciate that more so than I can even. You know, but it would be frustrating if you're having difficulty, you know, working your bolt, of course. So that's a nice thing about that. The trigger is adjustable, I think, but between 3 and 5 pounds. I've not adjusted it. It feels okay to me, and I would say it's closer to 5, you know, out of the box. But you can lighten that up to some extent. Okay, and you might want to look, you can kind of see, now this scope, of course, is just the one I picked up, but that's what I'm looking at as far as the reticle there. It's a little different, but I thought that's fine, and for my purposes. And again, it's a light gun, doesn't weigh much. It has a very narrow forend right here. That's a little narrow for my large hand. It doesn't feel nearly as comfortable to me. It makes the gun feel really small and light, and it is kind of small and light, but that's kind of what they were going for, I think, was something you could, put on your back or whatever and go into the mountains, wherever you're going, and not have a heavy bolt gun. Because in most cases, I guess you don't need a heavy gun. I guess this gun with a lighter barrel like that, if you're going to shoot it 50 times quickly, you might begin to see accuracy issues, in terms of precision, I don't know. But you do have a little bit of lighter barrel on the gun. Gives a nice pad, and seems like it has a free floated barrel. I don't think I mentioned that, and that's not all that common in a gun in this price range, in a rifle in this price range, and that's supposed to make a rifle more accurate. Okay, you all know that, don't you? Okay, here I am talking to a bunch of hunters that know more about these kinds of rifles than I do, but I've had a lot of requests, so I wanted to give you a look at it, and I like to shoot. I like to shoot anything, so we'll play with a scope-sighted rifle a little bit here. So let's shoot it a couple more times. We have some different targets set up down here, and I'll just shoot offhand and see what I can hit. Okay, we're on fire. Let's try that red plate. Boom. I think I hit it right in the middle. Yeah, all right. Had to be luck, didn't it? Yeah, okay. Let's try one of those 2-liters. Like that top one. Low. I have to get my Glock out, no too much trouble. Quick reload here. There we go. Again, I'm shooting just American Eagle, basically NATO spec ammo. I'm gonna try another 2-liter, I guess, while I'm on a roll. I tell you what, it'll catch you if you flinch. Got all the 2-liters taken out. Okay, so, and again, you got your a detachable magazine, which all bolt guns don't have, do they? I guess they all have to have some sort of magazine, but they don't have a detachable, and it holds 4 rounds. Whereas I think most bolt guns hold 5 that I've ever had, at least 5. And but that's okay. So it's basically a hunting rifle. Not a rifle that many people would buy just for plinking and enjoying on the range. I guess a lot of people would, but you know the kinds of rifles I like. I love bolt guns, whether it's a Krag or an .03 Springfield, the Swiss guns, or just whatever it might be. But this is not the first thing that comes to my mind to purchase and just go shoot. For one thing, there's no history associated with it. It's a polymer. It's just not the gun that I would sit and fondle and caress and think, wow, what a beautiful piece of history, wood and steel, that kind of thing. But there's a place for these guns. There's no doubt about that. And they're a lot of fun too, and they have a lot of practical value. More so than fun, I say fun, but as a hunting rifle primarily. Okay, and again, it's in around $450. If you're looking for a modern rifle, you don't care about Mausers and .03 Springfields and those kinds of firearms, and you don't want to put $700 or $800 into a bolt gun before you get a scope. you know, a gun like this definitely has a place, doesn't it? So we'll take a couple more down here, then we might go back up on the 250-yard range. I don't know. Let's see here. Okay. Anything else I just have to shoot down here? I see a couple of 12-ouncers that need to be shot. Okay, safety is nice and convenient, really positive. Oh, let's see that one on the right there, on the, or whatever it is, in the post, the high post. Sounds like a basketball position, doesn't it? I'm amazed that 308 takes them out like that. Because they're making that aluminum a little bit thicker these days. I guess I'm wasting some expensive ammo, aren't I? Oh well. Good catch. Life is short. That's okay. So, interesting gun. I kind of like that scope. As far as the scope, it's I don't know if that's the kind that you like. You saw the reticle. It's a little bit different, but you know, I don't know, the price was right, and it's a loophole. I know they make good stuff, and I thought for my purposes that would be fine. I might put that on some other rifles. So again, it seems to be doing it fine, and we've not you know, heard a lot about people having trouble with this rifle. I think that first one was, and I worked with it. Believe me, I had it for a month. I thought, okay, this could be something I'm doing. Let me clean the chamber again, and you know, then I'd get busy and I wouldn't be able to get to it till the weekend. And we clean it really well. You know, just clean the bolt, make sure there's not something in there, and shoot it again when I get a chance. And I go out and shoot it, you know, 10 times, 15 times, doing it again. And okay, let me try some different ammo. So then I didn't have any different ammo. So the next weekend I got my hands on some different ammo and tried 3 different types of 308 in it. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the brass or the rounds I was using, because again, you know, want to be sure whatever we do. I'm not all that scientific, but again, it could be an aberration. I could come out here with a rifle and it doesn't work right, and it could be the ammo. It could be a batch of ammo, you know, or it could just be that particular bolt, you know. So I'd like to at least figure out what is going on with it before I make it look bad. So anyway, this one seems to work fine. And again, I'm not a rifleman, but I've been able to hit a couple today, even through a scope. Why don't we just go back up on the hill and take a couple more shots to wrap up there at 250 yards, see if we can hit something, okay? So let me take my ammo. You want to walk with me? Here we go. Oh, y'all beat me up here this time, didn't you? Got up, you knew where I was going. Okay, let's put some ammo back in this thing. Now, I probably won't be able to hit anything this time, but that's okay. Got my heart beating fast walking up there. See, I got an alibi. Okay, and of course, I guess if you had a need to, you know, you're going into combat, you could top it off, put one in the chamber like I just did, and put another one in the magazine, right? So you'd actually have 4+1. But in most hunting situations, I don't suppose people do that often. All right. Now again, I'm not going to try. We'll just take a few more shots. And I think John set up a couple of cinder blocks. We might take one of those out, and then we might save the other one for a chapter 2 or something. I tell you, I think I wounded that, as I look at that, looks like I wounded the 2-liter on top of that block. He looks half full. Or maybe, let me look at it again. No, it's half empty. I'll be darned. No, it's half full. Oh well. I'm going to take a couple shots at the cinder block it is sitting on. See if I can at least scare it. Well, kind of scared it. Might even hit it. I don't know. Hard to tell from me. Okay, try again. I see dust. Yeah, I think we got a little cinder on that one. Might have on the first one, I don't know. Okay, look right another shot. Okay, whatever that is. Well, I tell you, it's not as easy as it looks, literally, because when you're looking through a scope like that, you know, you can see everything very, very clearly. For those of you who have not shot through a scope, looked through a scope, maybe other than maybe a video game or somewhere you know what it looks like. Yes, gives you a good sight picture, but boy, it just seems harder to hold steady to me. All right, a couple more at him. Yeah, it should have gone left because it felt like it did. There we go. I see cinder. Yeah, we got a piece of him that time. We'll get one more piece of him maybe. Yeah. Again, it is kind of fun, I'll have to say. Yeah, got a little piece there. Okay, good. That's interesting. Well, we've got it. We're empty. Let's put another. We'll put one more magazine in. Take a couple more shots. I got the bolt back. I'm going to set it down right there and load this magazine. So, interesting rifle. You know, shooting a scope. I can see the attraction. It's still not, you know, my favorite thing to do, but kind of interesting. The only gun I've had that has had a scope on it for a long time is my Ward's Western Field 22, and it really it's the only firearm I own. Let me think now. I think that has a scope, and that's because it had one when I grew up most of the time, and when my dad gave it to me, and then the scope that was on it got kind of warped out somewhere along the way, and I kind of redid that gun, and I wanted to keep it in pretty much in the configuration it was that I grew up with, and so I've always done that, and for that reason. It didn't have any other real sights on it anyway, so that's my experience with scopes for the most part. Okay, now I have borrowed a couple of firearms, you know, that had scopes on them, like this one, which is a borrowed gun, right? Okay, again, we appreciate Ruger letting us borrow this one, and borrow two of them, because this one seems to work fine and the other one did not. Alright, I might take a couple more shots at that, then I'll end with a gong hit. Okay, or it's not really the gong, it's a small plate, but yeah, we got one there. Okay. Ooh, got a little more. That's what I was hoping I'd be able to do before I had to give up, because I just have two more shots. Let's finish up on the plate. And I shot under him. I have one round left. One round. That puts pressure on me. That felt good. You know what that means? I gotta load one real quick. Okay, bolts back, we're safe. I know time is running out. Sun's going down. There's two. Oop, that's all I have. Well, this might be one of those deals where I have to quit on a miss, folks. Hope you don't lose all respect for me if I do. All right. kind of like a miss. One round. I don't know. It might have been going over it. That one felt good. Maybe as the barrel heats up, it was going a little bit higher. I think that's all the ammo I have up here. So that's okay. If it was a handgun, I couldn't quit on a miss. But with this thing, I'll let it go at that. So anyway, the Ruger American seems to shoot pretty well. You could probably shoot better with it if you're more accustomed to shooting this kind of rig. But again, I get so many requests for this and many other modern guns, rifles, handguns, of course, but rifles too. So I thought I just need to see if I can get my hands on one. Got my hands on two, right? We could have done some dual wielding here maybe. But it's if you're looking for a hunting rifle and don't want to pay an arm and a leg for it, something that just works. This comes in I think 308, 270, 243, and 30-06, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And from what I've read, it gets good ratings. Like I say, you can get any firearm that has a little bit of issue with it, but they are apparently working pretty well. So the Ruger American, life is good. That plate got the best of me, so I went and got the big hammer out. Hickok 45 never quits on a miss. Life is good.